Welcome everyone to our somewhat quarterly,
Yeah. The
our
date is hard
regular
to pick,
sketch.
Dan, when you have summertime. So here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah. So we're trying to make these quarterly, but we may throw in an audible depending on uh, news you should be able to
That's
use
right.
as it
That's
comes
right.
to being a CBG partner. Today we're going to be kind of focusing on accelerating your payouts with Lightspeed, as well as some of the other news to be aware of.
You can use,
Um,
yes.
Carrie, talk a little bit about you know, I, when you were at Scaling New Heights, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But there's this whole concept you guys have at CBG about mailbox money, like stuffing the mailbox. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a lot of people that join our partner program hear about it, but they're not actually sure how to do it. And I honestly wasn't even sure about the concept when it was introduced to me. But what we search for as a preferred vendor out there in the world of not just QuickBooks but add-on programs and so forth, we're searching for vendors that can provide us a residual income as a benefit for putting your customer in the product or recommending it. And then, keeping them in the product, it wins for everyone. It's less disruptive. The customer can generally get a better discount using a preferred vendor like us. And then you as a partner for bringing that over, can earn, if you choose, most people do, not everybody, but you can earn a residual payout. And that's actually, win-win for the vendor because it's less disruptive for them to lose a customer. It's easy, if you're supporting that customer, it's a lot of work for customers to make any kind of a change. And then you get some mailbox money. And so as you get through your business and you hit these projects here and there, it's nice to be able to know that Dan and I have done our homework in recommending vendors that you can trust, and we'll get into more about how Lightspeed fits perfectly into our initiative. We're trying to diversify from not just Intuit and QuickBooks products, because we all know and love those products, but to add on and take advantage of the fact that QBO is built as a hub for you to add these products in. So let's not lose those opportunities, and that's what we're here to do for you guys.
Yeah, and I think the this could be kind of encapsulated. When I was at the luncheon, I was talking with one of the CBG partners, and I was talking to them about a client, or a shared person, or client of theirs that we were working on together. I'm like, how's it going? And they're like, oh, they're not my client anymore, but I still appreciate the $100 a month I get from them from their subscription. So that's like one of the perfect examples of that mailbox money, that you can be financially connected to a client without them actually being a client anymore.
Yes.
And they're getting that mailbox money just coming into their account every month, whether or not they're actively working with that client. So it's a great way to you know fill your lake of with multiple streams of income. So
Definitely. And that's, after you've some of these clients you may have spent a lot of time setting up, and you may have had to write off some of your support fees if it's kind of one of those arrangements. Not every ends up being a friend. But this is a way you can say, well, good, I'm starting to recover some of the loss I had in this hard project. So it's nice to continue to benefit from that.
all right, so let's go through our agenda today. We're going to be talking, meet the team. We'll recap Scaling New Heights, some recaps and takeaways of that. Talk about some CBG awards that occurred in this past quarter, 4 months, whatever that is, and then file into the news you need to be a CBG partner, and changes and updates and things of that nature.
As they come
And I
often and fast.
apologize if I'm glitching here, but I'm in a new location, so of course it's always a fun challenge.
Okay,
But
I'll try to pick up if something glitches.
yeah, Carrie, who are you?
I don't really know right now. I am the owner of Complete Business Group and launched my partner program in 2015, and that's where people started to know who I am. Worked my way up the chain in the reseller program at Intuit and met some really strong folks to help me find the success. And the next adventure for us was to create a partner program that would help us build a community and then try to add to our bottom line. And we always feel like we're recommending things. We always, it's nice to get paid for that recommendation, and we try to capture and manage that for you in the background. But that's my hyper focus at the moment. So,
The George Washington of my Mount Rushmore of
oh, that's
accounting,
And
Carrie Cobb.
this is our team in the background. So we have three of them actually, or four of them on the call. I'm trying to count real fast. It's not easy when you're winging it. We have Paula on the call. She can wave her hand because she's actually on camera. When you call into CBG or email, she's probably the person you speak to, and as you all can probably attest to, she helps you find the right answer fast. She screams from the rooftop if there's an emergency and tries to be your advocate to get things done. And then I'll have Brian raise his hand. He's a newer member on our team, and he helps us in the background because the data is major in our world here. As we have lots and lots of orders, we're trying to manage it, and we're actually in the process of moving you guys. And no one likes change better than an accountant from Bill.com to Palti. So we're in the midst of that at the moment. So stay tuned as we as we embark on that. And then we have, and I'll mention Janet, can you hop off camera for one quick sec? She can just wave. Here she comes. Oh, there she is. There's Janet. She's the one on the bottom right. She just joined us and she's going to support us in sales. And one of the things that I love that I learned about her is that she used to work with Dan on the point of sale team. So Dan, do you want to do a little call
Yeah,
out?
yeah, yeah. Back in the days of point of sale version one, I was 1.0. I was the support to help the sales agent. So I would kind of walk around and people would raise their hands like, "Can point of sale do this? Can point of sale do that?" And Janet was one of those individuals back in the early days of QuickBooks point of sale, which sadly is no more, but
Right.
we
So,
still hold on to it fondly.
right. So Dan is our educational guru here. So his passion is in support and helping. He likes teaching people how to fish. He doesn't mind supporting you one on one so that you can actually, he kind of wants to get himself out of the job, but get you more empowered, which I love that approach instead of I'm the only one that can do it. So he also leads the School of Bookkeeping initiative that we partner with to help educate our partners. So you guys all get a free membership in School of Bookkeeping. And then if you need to unlock some more resources, Dan is the one that can help get you there. So we are just so excited to have Lightspeed. Let's see what's on the next slide. We probably so we'll have to mention the shout out that we don't have any Intuit people on the team, but these are the people that actually support us in the background that, Paula has to deal with Intuit. These are the people she calls out to. Jamie is our rep that if you guys came to scaling, we got to meet her, you guys got to meet her in person. And she helps us with things that are not related to payments and payroll because we have Noah for our payroll questions, and Joe is our payments guru, and George's actually leads that team. So when we have really weird stuff, we have to reach out to George. So they're a dynamic team for us, deep resources. There's more than these four, but those are the people that help us get to our Intuit resources that are hidden in the in the company of Intuit.
And it's nice to have consistency, especially with your connection, the team, whatever partner program you happen to be working with. You may have
Yes.
seen the news of Intuit had some massive layoffs, and it's nice to know that the members of Intuit are still there, There's no major changes with the personnel as it comes to that sort of news. So where do we fit in that whole what is a QSP and QuickBooks solution provider? Just kind of give folks
Yeah.
a refresher as to what that means.
So we are in this very small channel. It took me a while to kind of stumble upon it. And back when I think Simon used to be with, he's now gone from Intuit, but I saw that there were all these resources around the enterprise software, which guess what? It's not, enterprise is still around. And I reached out to this group and I said, I just started using enterprise and where I was working, and I had gotten certified as a pro advisor, and I stumbled upon this deep resource for enterprise. And that's how I found it. It was like hidden under all these little buttons and on the website for Intuit. So I signed up and it was major, like, oh, you have to go to the conference and you have to spend this money and you have to sell this much. And I wasn't a salesperson. So I was like, what is this? So they quickly taught me that uh, it's not the traditional sales that you think of people going selling vacuum cleaners door to door. It's not like that. It's basically was a good fit for all of us, as I was also a pro advisor, and I can't explain to you why Intuit doesn't have those people together, but they don't. So I was also a pro advisor, and when I went to my first conference, I met a lot of the teachers that are at Scaling New Heights and now QuickBooks Connect, because and Sleater at the time, because they were also in the program. We got deeper resources. We because we are pro advisors, we get a pro advisor discount and things like that. So we do that differently. What's different is if you are a pro advisor and you're getting called from a sales agent, if you order QuickBooks through them, they keep the commission. They win, you don't. So if you order under us, you get a commission that's paid out. We tie all our sales to you based on your landing pages and all the tools we have in the background. So what we can do differently is offer you residuals with the merchant service program, and we can also give you a commission payout when you sell QuickBooks Online Payroll, and QuickBooks Enterprise. So that's different from in the Pro Advisor area. If you talk to a salesperson, you could sell that stuff, but you or recommend it and get pricing through them, but you're not going to benefit from it. It'll just be basically handing someone else that commission you could have earned. And the other thing is that when we do initiate a sale, it's where the customer is paying the subscription, not you. So that's a nice option, I think. Not worry about
And,
collecting the customer's money and charging sales tax, because that's all a problem.
and I remember working at Intuit and knowing of this group, this channel of QuickBooks solution providers or whatever they were calling it back then.
It's been a
And
lot of different names.
and and when I left, I investigated what it would take to do that, and I got confused of all of the things, the rules and the regulations. So, when Susan Humphreys hit me over the head and said, "Hey, join up with Carrie," I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. I can be a QuickBooks solution provider, but not have to deal with the headache of managing and tracking all these things." And that was a blessing, to be able to offload those headaches and give them to Paula instead of actually needing to do that myself. So that's a great win for the whole partner program, I think, that you guys have created here.
Yeah, well, and
So
to add to that is with along with Intuit and the third party programs that we recommend, we take the headache, and we have to meet sales goals to unlock the benefits. So we do that. We focus on that for us. Like, for example, we meet with Emily at Lightspeed to make sure we're meeting our sales goals. And the more sales, they have a tiered program, the more we can unlock and share, with you guys 50/50. So it's a nice thing that we can do as a, power of partnership.
let's talk about scaling new heights and
Yes.
ways. So Lead us off here, Carrie.
Yeah, so scaling new heights was fantastic. We went this year. Last year was at St. Louis. This year was actually great because our team was able to drive down there. We're only 4 hours from where I am, a little further for Paula and Brian. And um, but anyway, so we had a great event. We did our traditional lunch. Because it's fun to get us together. It was actually the same food you would have had on the floor, but we had the networking option. We actually met on Tuesday instead of Monday because Dan and I had a phenomenal class that we had, realizing that a lot of pro advisors don't know what they don't know about all the price changes. It also we also created something different this year, and we take notes and feedback and all the things to make it better for next year. But we had tables of the apps that we recommended that were benefiting from the ones that fit the criteria of earning a residual and having a sales team to help us and an onboarding team support and so on, which is even more than we get with Intuit. We kind of have to fudge around with there's no onboarding support with Intuit. It's on us and the sales team. It's nice to have their expertise because that's where we find we're helping, as CBG to get you guys the sale, which everyone hates that word, but um, getting you in the right product is kind of where we are. And as we mentioned on the slide too, Dan and I had a standing room only class talking about the price changes, and we were shocked at how many people were completely unaware of all that. But look at the big turnout we had. I was so proud.
Yeah.
It was a great day. We hope we're signed up to do it again next year, so we hope we can pick up some of you guys, pick up some more. And then we were busy the whole time. And then my daughter got married literally the weekend after. So I was going very high speed. On the top right corner, or the class is on the top left. What we had was I was up at the podium and Dan was throwing the microphone around in the room. We had a really good, we had a lot of good feedback from the class. Hope we can continue to pass that education along throughout the year so people are more in tune. On the top right, we invited our premier partners to a power breakfast where we had our Intuit rep so we could ask them questions around all the price changes. So it was nice to have her ear. Probably a lot of complaining and whining, but it's nice to be able to have somebody that can hear us and give us kind of their take on what's going on. Bottom left is our team that was on the ground. We grabbed that before Sarah Ann headed out, but those are on the ground people. And then the bottom right was fun because Paul and I ran into our old Intuit rep, which some of you may remember, Kim. And so she was floating around able to answer some of those. People were puzzled and confused because Intuit no longer goes to scaling new heights because they have the competitors there, Zero and Zoho, and they made a bold move of Joe, if you invite those people, we're not going to come. And so I keep continuing to provide how important it is for us to have the Intuit folks there. So it was a really good win for scale for CBG to be able to get Jamie there this year. I don't know if we'll be able to do it again, but it was good. So what we did was we had a table for all the third party vendors, and on the left we had the Corpay people did not attend. So Dina Martin was fantastic, and she's been a Corpay user, power user. So we begged her to man the table because we had our tablecloth all ready to go. And then again, Lightspeed, same thing. They weren't able to send anybody down, but Ross is a huge advocate. He works at 4 Lane. They're our friendly competition. We collaborate very well together. And Ross, we talked to her boss, my best friend, and I said, "Can we please borrow Ross to be a spokesperson for Lightspeed?" And so he came and answered questions, and we were able to have our table for Lightspeed and answer any questions they had. And then there's Dan in the middle. We put him at the School of Bookkeeping table, and he brought some of his new helpers along. They weren't there yet, but they came later. And then on the right is our Avalara. So we use Avalara to do sales tax. And Jamie Dunn, who normally is there, was not. She caught COVID before she came. So they brought, I can't remember that guy's name. They came, Tyler or something, but he had
Snappiest
quite a
dresser of
suit on. Yeah, he took that he took that orange to heart. So they were a fun table to visit. And then on the right, again, our ADP rep was unable to attend, so they sent us two top dogs from ADP to answer those questions, similar to our a partnership with Lightspeed is they provide the sales call, the onboarding, the better discount for the customer, and they also pay out a commission and residual opportunities. Theirs actually ends at 5 years, but hey, it's better than nothing. So therefore, we consider them a gold vendor as we do with Lightspeed. But it
I
was a
thought it was
great event.
fantastic that that they even though we didn't have our rep there,
Yeah.
they sent Nick and Jen Guessing is a VP of sales there. So I mean, like, talk about getting your VIP at getting a C vice president of the whole corporation, which is pretty cool.
Right. So we were okay with that. So
Yeah.
because ADP was there, but they just could not allow us to have our little I would have liked to have had our reps, but they're fantastic and they are in our Facebook group and we can tag them as necessary. So yeah, like you say, we came up ahead. So we had some partner awards, and believe it or not, the four of these people that earned the most growth in 2024 were so busy selling stuff they didn't come to Scaling New Heights. They're doing fantastic and probably didn't feel like they needed to do that. But Katie, Kim, I don't know how to pronounce, Leanne, Kendall have all done phenomenal growth. And so they got an award. They were very excited and didn't expect it. And we announced it at Scaling. They were too busy to even watch our live stream. But anyway, we tagged them in so they could watch the playback. And then we had Rising Star. They also did very, very well, but they didn't have the extreme growth of those other four. But Dina Martin, and that's, possibly because she added Corpay. Kelly Gonzalez, who we had to chase her down because she's one of those educator extraordinaire all over scaling and was unable to attend our luncheon. But we chased her down to get that photo. Kathy Kinzer has done fantastic, and she's bringing her daughter on board. And we chased her down because she somehow forgot about the luncheon. She's done amazing. And then Kathy Grosskirth, every year we just watch her climb. And she finally hit the thing where she got an award, and it was fun seeing her reaction because she certainly didn't expect it. And then we had top awards. So Kathy Kinzer has hit the ground running with ADP. She actually recommended the PEO, which is where you can do payroll where they do everything for you and offer your I don't even know the best way to explain it, but you can get all the benefits. A small business can get a PEO
Yeah.
plan like CBG has it, and I can offer my employees health insurance and disability insurance and vision and dental care
It,
through our
yeah.
program.
It allows a small business owner, someone with a handful of employees, to be able to pool together with other small businesses, and that allows you to get better rates on those benefits and those types of things. So it is allowing a small business to compete with a large corporation with regards to employee benefits. So it's a really neat program for small businesses
And
to
we get
participate
a
in.
big commission when we sell those, and we actually get residuals for up to 5 years. So it's pretty nice. So she figured that out, and as a result, had a good payout for that for the year and hit the top awards. And then, as we've mentioned, Dan is like the leader of our education, and see his
Yeah,
award.
I even brought my award.
He brought his award. He brings it everywhere he goes. He sleeps with it under his pillow. I was
Right,
afraid he was going to have to throw
like a
out an
tooth
award to
fairy.
bring. I thought you were going to have to throw an award away to bring the new one in. That's how his t-shirts are. His wife only allows him so much room in the RV. But I'm glad that that one's still kicking around. So,
Right.
um, and then we have Alicia, who is Oh, she actually is, I think our one of our, I know Susan's our first partner, she might have been second, but she is a really good, she's educates all over the place and understands about the Intuit merchant service opportunity to not only save customers money, but for us to build up our mailbox money. So she's a deep resource for us to teach around that. And she also has her own educational platform that we actually collaborate with. So she picks up some of the areas where School of Bookkeeping doesn't fill the gap. So the two options together can help you guys get up to speed fast, and like we like to teach you how to fish so that you're a better QuickBooks Pro advisor out there. So she's a deep resource and loves that. You skipped
Congrats.
Susan.
Forgot.
So this is a funny story. So Susan, we keep really good records. We do our best to keep our partners attached to whatever clients they have. And when we had QuickBooks Point of Sale fall off and end up dying, we sent the list to Lightspeed, like, can you work on this list and help us get some people converted? Well, one of her clients that she doesn't even do anything for anymore got caught up in the conversion, and so she's getting a really nice residual for a client that she forgot about. So as a result, there you go. She hit the top Lightspeed. So she's one of those partners that whatever we tell her to do, she does it. And she may have actually said, call this one. We have a lot going through. She has a lot going on for being a one person show. And she actually came to our luncheon because she lives locally enough that she could come by and visit and stay and visit us for lunch. So it was great to see her.
So some key takeaways for you, Carrie, of the whole conference in general.
Yeah, so the big one was it was kind of sad. It was like hearing all the disgruntled noises around Intuit was really hard for my heart because my blood, I bleed into it products and have been an advocate for years. So it was we really miss seeing our reps, and we were so pleased to have ours come. So that was sort of a sad, like it was like a black cloud kind of feeling. It was I've given that feedback wherever the Intuit people are listening, and they didn't like hearing that, but I said let's come up with some ideas so that they feel more supported. Um, and then we realized a big one. So uh, this shocked our class. And when we were developing our slide deck, Dan and I came to the conclusion that you cannot quick back up QuickBooks Online payroll. You can back up QuickBooks Online using Rewind, but not payroll. So that's a big glitchy issue just to be aware of. If you want to use QuickBooks Payroll, that's fine. What you want to do is back it up, in a safe way, or back up those reports and your year to dates and just run some reports. It's just something you just need to be aware of. A lot of people's jaws were on the floor. So then we explained that you can make more money with the ADP partnership. So they were really pleased to learn that, because a lot of times our pro advisors will go get excited and go running around the vendor floor, which is fine. But if you sign up as a partner with one of the vendors, you're going to get that beginner first level, let's see how you do and how much are you going to sell. And most of you guys are too small to sell enough to make a difference. But the power and partnerships are CBG has 850 partners. We're able to together, when we put all the sales under the CBG umbrella, we're able to unlock better benefits. And as a matter of fact, with ADP, if you take the benefits when you first unlock them, they're less than our higher level divided by two. So you're really leaving money on the table by going as your own, going to ADP by yourself without the sales level that we're able to accomplish. So it's a little tricky once you've signed up. Kind of disentangle yourself from that, and we'll see what we can do. But um, it's sort of a tricky thing. So don't sign up for these things. Learn about them, of course, but just reach out to us first to see if it's a vendor that we're in partnership with, because we can unlock better benefits for the whole community, for you guys, for the customer, and have a better experience. So don't forget that. I feel like, Dan, we say that at every single conference and they still do it. So it's like telling a toddler, don't stick your finger in the light socket with that. Don't take that pen over there. Don't put the quarter in there. So we just
I
we
have to
just
start
keep
using
repeating,
reverse
keep it.
psychology.
So anyway, oh, and another thing that Dan and I recommended in our class that I saw a few light bulbs go off, so I thought it was worth mentioning it again because we have it in a lot of different places. Our rule of thumb is when we see we monitor the Facebook groups, the communities and stuff, and we see a lot of people getting in trouble doing these conversions. So we recommend that you do a dry run with your customer and just do a trial of advanced and then let the customer kick the tires around with their team to see if they're ready for the move because just because Intuit is marketing it's strong, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right fit for your customer. Your customer may be happy in enterprise, which is a product that, unbeknownst to everyone, is not going away. And if it does go away, then we go from there. But QuickBooks Online may not be the fit for them if they need all the bells and whistles on enterprise. So it's real important to let the customer feel empowered with a sandbox and see what's going to happen and then they can bring their trusted team to see, because if I did that to Paula, she would run. We're actually still on enterprise for various reasons. But you want to make sure that your team is okay with this change, and that's one way to do it. In the Scaling New Heights, work balance was mentioned often. And that's where I feel like our partner program is fantastic because you don't have to spend your brain vetting partner relationships with vendors. We have a community to talk to. You can lean in on resources. We have a lot of different resources that we mention from time to time and some people that are just sitting there in our Facebook group. You could say, I need help with nonprofit, and you'd be amazed at how many people will chime in and help take that project with or from you and get them handled. So don't forget about the huge 800 people in our Facebook community. It's pretty powerful. And again, vendor floors can be very overwhelming. You If you want to, lean on us to help recommend stuff because there's a lot of people out there that end up being vaporware. Is that the right word, Dan?
Well, I think that's a really good way to describe it, right? Because I went into Scaling New Heights because of all of the shenanigans going on with Intuit. I'm like, I see a lot of people, um, throwing in the towel, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm moving on. And I went in with this. Is there a world where QuickBooks is not part of, your accounting thing? And a lot of apps are looking to create their own general ledger, or having another option. And a lot of people were like, oh, shiny. Okay, I don't like it over here. I want to see what it is over there. But then, talking to some other folks, it was like, as an accounting or bookkeeping professional, having something that is stable and something at least that that and can trust. I mean, like whatever we say about Intuit, QuickBooks is not going anywhere anytime soon. So to have that foundation of your accounting practice inside of QuickBooks, rather than, okay, well, what does Digits offer me as far as this, or Square, or all of these Silicon Valley answers to competing with QuickBooks. But then imagine you have all of these clients in all of these different apps, and you have different experiences throughout all of them. If you have QuickBooks being the core of your
Oh,
accounting practice, then at least you know what you're working with as far as how that data comes into QuickBooks. And, you know, another application that now has a general ledger that, well, that didn't work out right, and then they turn it off, and now you're kind of stuck, right?
and
So that's
I was gonna, don't mean to interrupt, but I have learned in the past that when a app says, "Let me do general ledger," they don't know general ledger, so that
yeah.
they're really good at their specialty, and they need to stay in their lane. And when they start saying things like that, to me, that is vaporware. They don't understand accounting. We know QuickBooks works, so and having that as the foundation and adding that app. It's just you want to make sure that these apps are here to stay. Who's going to support it if the person that wrote it gets hit by a car? That's kind of the with Intuit, like you
Right.
say, it's such a big corporation. It's not dependent on, we're not just Scott Cook anymore. We're more than that. Oh, and the final thing that we called out when we had Ross at our vendor table and he was talking to the different partners, he told us individually, he said, if the partners would attend the calls of the demo and be an advocate along with your customer, that he felt like it would be easier for it to close because your customer trusts you and when they're doing the demo, they may bring up something that you know the answer to. Like if they say, "Well, what about something unique to their business?" I think that the experience overall would be better for that client if you're there just to, listen only mode and chime in when needed.
All right. Well, let's move into the.
I'm gonna let you run with this, Dan, because this is like tongue twisting stuff. So
All righty.
you let it rip.
All right. So let's talk about the Intuit stuff first. So the QSP program changes. There is a pricing increase. We want to unpack that a little bit. Um, Good news, bad news. I don't know if you want. It's just news. The Pro and Premier stop sell date has been moved. We'll talk about that. There are some enterprise discount changes that we want to make you aware of. The removal of QuickBooks Time as a standalone. QuickBooks Time is not going away, but just the ability to sell QuickBooks Time as a standalone option. And then there's a payment application change. So let's go ahead and unpack that. So the easiest thing about Pro and Premier, it was supposed to be in about a week. They were going to stop selling active new subscriptions with Pro and Premier. That date is now shifted to 9/30 instead of 7/31. So they've added a couple months to that date. It is the current pricing, whatever it is, until that date. And we'll talk about what the pricing will be in some future slides. But Pro Premier Plus for Windows and Mac, as well as standalone enhanced payroll. Uh, After 9/30, but who knows what happens up until this date? I mean, they could change that again, but but up until as of today, after 9/30, so 10/1, if you
Things are
contact
different.
Intuit or try to purchase, it won't allow you to purchase a new subscription. Existing subscriptions, however, will continue to be renewed as long as they are actively being built. So if you have a client on Pro, Premier, or Enhanced Payroll, they will still continue to be able to use it as long as their billing
Credit
is
card
active.
doesn't conk.
Right. So with that, they announced a lot of pricing changes and updates
Floods of
to
changes.
basically everything in
Everything
their
that you knew is different.
right. Right. So there's a link to the Intuit article that unpacks all of that as well as the important dates. But the pricing updates across the board for QBO, nothing is left unspared except solopreneur and ledger. So, but if we don't have access to solopreneur through the QSP channel anyway. So
Or
um,
really self-employed, but yeah.
exactly, yeah. But pretty much $5 per month across the board
Yeah,
for
until
pricing
plus,
updates until you get to
yeah.
Plus, yep, which goes up $9 a month, and then Advanced gets the lion's share. Now to its credit, they didn't have an update to the price last year, so they're making up for 2 years of of price updates when it comes to Advanced, but it is significant from the base price of $200 a month to 235. The dates there is that Intuit Direct, new and existing subscriptions, August 1st. That pricing will go into play, and then if you're CBG direct build, or if it's under your accounting build, firm build subscription, that will increase on September 1st. important note is if anyone is under a promotion, so
Don't
like,
touch it.
well, in 3 years, if it was like they started 3 months ago and they're on monthly, they're still going to have the price that they purchased until that promotion expires, whatever that happens
Oh,
to be. So if
okay.
it's been a if they purchased it 3 months ago, they'll still have 9 months of their current base price until that promotion expires, 30%, 50%, whatever that happens to be, and then it will kick into the new base price after that.
Okay.
So just bear that in mind. Okay, and then desktop. Ooh, this is painful. Uh, Talking about those Pro and Premier, subscriptions, getting a substantial price increase uh, for Pro and Premier. So going up, what is that,
Fifty,
$250?
almost 50%. So the
Yeah,
message
a year.
is don't, don't hold on because they're going to price you out.
Oh, I wanted to mention in QBO pricing, if you
Yeah.
wanted to figure out what the annual price is, it's 12 times the monthly minus 10%. So they get a 10% discount on the monthly subscription. So if you're wondering,
Good
point
call
out.
out. Good
Yeah,
call out because
because they never
definitely,
give the annual pricing, so it's just an easy way to figure that out.
and a good call out though, because if you want to take advantage of today's price,
Mhm.
do the 1 year and go higher than you think because that way you don't lose it. You don't lose that discount.
Yeah, and if you have some clients on monthly direct billing, have them switch to annual before the price increase, and so they'll essentially get today's pricing for another year plus a 10% discount. So
Yeah,
might
it's
be an
definitely worth
option to
looking
talk
at.
to them about it. Don't get anything for that. There's no commission or anything like that when it comes to uh, CBG or QuickBooks, but
But
it's
ordering,
a price saving.
yeah, and ordering new, think about that annual because that's a good way
Exactly.
to save money.
Mhm. So desktop pricing for Pro and Premier, significant pricing increase, $250 for Pro Plus and Max Plus, and
300,
what is that?
three. Oh,
Three
wait, no,
fifty.
no, you're doing the
Oh,
math, right? I'm going across.
four
I'm not
fifty
going down.
actually for
Sorry. It
Premier.
just is 350, 350, and yeah, that's 350, Dan. That's high.
Yeah,
More than 50%, and then
and that's just for
450.
one user. That's
Yeah.
just for one user. I don't know what the add a seat. In the past, it was 200 for Pro and 300 for per seat for Premier. We'll have to check. Well, I mean, we don't get a new pricing list until they actually go into effect. So we may need to
Yeah,
check on the additional user pricing.
we get
But
zilch for this. So
yeah,
it's actually it's made it so that enterprise is more affordable, and that's the product that's staying. So if your
yeah,
customer needs it, yeah, we have options you can
we'll
talk to.
talk about that in a future slide too.
Yeah,
So
because
October 1st
that's
is
going
when this is
sideways too. Go ahead.
October 1st is when this is actually going to go into effect. So if they started their subscription 6 months ago, they won't get this renewal until that goes to renew. So it'll bump up
Right.
to the new annual subscription. QuickBooks Online payroll is getting a an increase. So again, $5 base price is across the board, as well as $1 across the board per active employee. Same dates as well as the QuickBooks Online. And then again, if they are in a promotion pricing, they will have active, or they'll have their current pricing until that promotion expires. And desktop payroll is not immune to the pricing increase. I didn't even realize that there still is a basic payroll, but that's
Uh-huh.
basic is just paycheck creation
Yeah.
with no e-filing or e-pay. Really, probably not even worth mentioning, but
No,
it is
I
getting an
don't even
increase.
I don't ever talk about it because it's
Yeah.
hardly used. But yeah. But look at
And then
that
it,
enhanced payroll for years and years and years. We've been at 55 a month and that per employee crept up while I wasn't paying attention. And now it's 70 a month at $7 per employee per month so that those numbers can jump up really fast.
yeah. Again, the same dates for the pricing increase. And I went the wrong way.
Right.
Enterprise. This is something to be
Shocker
aware of.
mistake.
Uh, so basically, the price isn't increasing. However, the discount is going away. So effectively, the price is increasing. So any pro advisor promotion or discount that we were able to offer to enterprise subscriptions is going away after October 1st. So essentially, for 1 to 10 seats, it's 20%. If it's more than 11 or more, that's 12.5%. So those discounts are going away. Something to keep in mind is that Intuit is viewing changes to an active subscription to be a new subscription. So bear that in mind that if they're adding seats, reducing seats, changing metals, going from silver to platinum or silver to gold, because we're going to talk about why you should go from silver to gold, especially if you're bundling in with payroll. That is viewed as a new subscription and could potentially impact their existing discount if they're already an active subscription.
And one more call out on that.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to
Mm-hmm.
where one more
Yep.
call out is that Intuit always has some sort of a sale or a discount. We always lead with the Pro Advisor discount because historically that is a lifetime discount, but Intuit doesn't want to do that anymore. But if there is any kind of a promo of any sort, we will just switch over to understanding what those promos are, and then we can still pass on some kind of a discount. It just won't be the one that we really loved, but it'll be better than no discount. So just keep that in mind for new purchases.
Good call out there. So here's an example of if you need desktop enhanced payroll, and they're on Pro or Premier. It's an example of a case study. If you just had a Premier customer with one user and has an active enhanced payroll subscription, and they're 10 employees, gives an example of that. Their total annual cost based on all of those pricing increases is over $3,000 just for one user Premier and enhanced payroll. Um, that's an increase of over $700
Just over the
from
past
the
few
prior
months.
year. So here's an example of going to QuickBooks Enterprise Gold One User Edition, because that includes the payroll subscription and no additional per employee costs at all. It's 1538 a year. After the without the discounts, it is they're saving 50% over that.
Yeah.
After October 1st, uh, still significant savings, even without the discounts. For
For
enterprise.
now.
So their total annual savings is $1,500 by just switching to enterprise. Plus, that is a very high payout as far as the commission is concerned with regards to that. There's a
Right.
link there for the CBG blog on how that bundle plays out. So you can always see that as well. Accountants are not immune to the pricing increase either. So standalone desktop accountant plus subscription, not Pro Advisor, but the standalone desktop accountant
Which is
is
a
going up
premier. Yeah.
$200, as well as the Pro Advisor bundle is going up from $7.99 to $9.99. If you have the Enterprise bundle, which includes Enterprise and Premier Accountant, that is going up $300 effective October 1st. This one kind of snuck in there that without any fanfare, but it is an incredibly huge price increase. Accountant payroll, they haven't been actively selling enhanced payroll for accountants where you can have 50 EINs under your subscription for about 2 years now. But they're substantially increasing the price year over year. It was $1,400 a la carte with a 50% discount if you bundle that with your Pro Advisor membership, it's now going up to $2,800 a year a la carte, as well as an increase in the direct deposit fee, and that's a per transaction fee, not per employee like it is for
So
enhanced payroll or QBO payroll.
they're sending a message that find somebody else to do your payroll, and that's why we go to ADP. I used to do payroll myself, and I love doing payroll and payroll tax returns. I thought it was fun, but it is kind of a hard thing to keep up with. It's a noose around your neck as far as having to keep up with when's the payroll due and when the reports are due, and you have to really it's a hard business to compete with the pricing of, ADP, Gusto, and all the pay.com. So basically, we recommend moving yourself, doing your due diligence to move yourself off of this dependency because it's gonna price you out. So be very proactive around that.
And you can really take a look at the enhanced payroll bundle with enterprise with regards to
Yes,
some of these changes too. I mean, the biggest
yes.
thing that you lose by not having the accountant payroll subscription is the paid preparer, being able to put that on the forms as well as the after the fact. So if you're not doing those two things, there's really no necessarily any need for the enhanced payroll for accountants subscription. Maybe transitioning your clients to enterprise gold
Oh, good
allows
call out.
you allows you to still process payroll and absorb some of those fees until Intuit catches on that's what you're doing. That's what they do, is they respond to changes in the marketplace. So
Well, the
that's a
customer
good
could
idea.
pay for their subscription and they could just
Yeah,
remote in. So yeah,
exactly.
we can do it right.
Desktop payments is getting a small tweak. This is just more of a homogenized. When it comes to ACH, in the past it was $3 per transaction, a flat fee. Now it's going to the 1%, which is the same thing across all of the other QB payments subscriptions or services. Difference is if they're existing, it's going to get a cap of $15 per transaction, not per month or anything. It's per transaction. So um, it would have to be an ACH larger than $1,500 in order to reach that
Okay.
cap. New customers in desktop payments have that 1% with no cap. And that's going into effect October
But
1st.
but I will call out, we do get
But
residuals on ACH. We didn't before, so
right. So
let's see
they're
what happens.
raising the cap so that they can pay you more
Yeah, well, for now, that's what
for now. Exactly. So QB Time standalone is being removed. So this is just the ability to sell QuickBooks Time as a standalone timekeeping option. The direct sell stop sell is August 1st. The CBG stop sell is September 1st. So if you do have any that you want to get on QB Time, do that before September 1st. But in essence, QB Time is not going away. It's just being bundled in with other things, right? So QBES Diamond, so Enterprise Diamond includes a QB Time subscription, um, deeply discounted by bundling that, and QBO Payroll with Premium and Elite includes time tracking already with all of those employees.
Yes.
And if you do need I thought we had a mention of timesheets.com, but if you do need a time only option, CBG has a partnership with timesheets.com. They are cheaper than QB Time, and they work with both QuickBooks Online and desktop. So
And it's on your
it's a
landing
good
page.
replacement.
Yeah.
And they pay residually.
Yes. For up to 2 years, better than zero.
Right.
So go ahead.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the application change as it comes to relate with QuickBooks payments?
Yeah, so up until a few weeks ago, we were able to collect all the data around a payment application so that, and Joe would take the information and he'd have that application processed in minutes. I mean, literally minutes. All that was taken away from us, and it was really a move to make sure that when we're passing over the bank information and the critical information that's needs to be masked and in a safer way, they changed the process for us. So what we do is we still collect your payment application minus the banking and your social and your EIN. And then what Joe does is he takes that information, he has to create an application and he sends it directly to your customer. So we need you guys to be on it to make sure the customer completes the rest of it. And they're really, it's doing it as a safety, data safety protection so that we can collect the banking and all the things. So and it's all finished, he makes sure that we're getting our discounted payments rate that we have today, and that's built into your QuickBooks Online. And the other thing he does is he does it in the background, so it's all connected. You all may remember when you're dealing with desktop, it's a lot more hand-holding to get it connected and working, but he makes sure it's connected to the QBO account. We also recommend making sure that the customer didn't do anything in the meantime. Always confirm that the MID that we say, this is your MID, that is the one that the customer's using, then show them how to use it. The other option to get the discount is to apply inside product, but you have to report it right away or they will get the full price and you won't be able to get them the discount. You won't be able to get the residuals. We had a couple customers that did this in product at Christmas. And because of the Christmas holiday, we thought we got it approved and they took it away. So time is of the essence. It's all, but there's no more. Our team is unable to make exceptions anymore. They're cracking down. Your payouts are actually going to be better because you're going to get ACH as long as your customers are, a profitable account. So we just need you guys to be more in tune to when a customer fills that out to hold their hand and make sure they get to the finish line and do a second pass through to make sure that their QBO and their MID is the right numbers and that they're building your residual. So let's not let just hope and pray it's done. Let's just do a double check. Oh,
Ah,
look,
this
there's
was
the
the slide
slide
I
that's
was.
in the wrong spot.
So if you do need the standalone time tracking, you
We
can
knew it was
check out
somewhere.
the, yeah, it's in there somewhere. Um, timesheets.com. We had them come on a prior partner meetup. There's a link there to be able to access the prior recording. They are a lower price point than QB Time. You get an exclusive discount because you're already partnered with them through CBG, integrates with desktop and
Yes.
online, and you get the 2-year residuals on top of that.
Yes. So a lot of benefits by doing it under us.
So talk about Tipalti.
I need Brian to come aboard. So we are currently switching from Bill.com to Tipalti because it's the this is a system that allows our partners to be able to see what they're being paid. I know the data is not in there at the moment. We're currently working on that heavily. But in the end, you will be able to log into your portal once it makes its way into the right area, once we unlock the different features, and you'll be able to see exactly what you're being paid. And so that's the main reason we're heading over there. And then while we made that change, we're making onboarding a lot easier for you all. When you onboard, you're going to fill out your W-9, which I know is painful the first time around, but if you have any changes to it, you do it there. We don't have to use Lisio anymore for that, and we also don't need to use Lisio for contracts. So we have a place where you can read the contract that you agree to, and that saves us a lot of time. It helps you get onboarded faster. I will call out, there is one little thing that's not great about it is when you're entering in your payment information, it's not set up to actually do one of those tests where charge you a couple pennies. They don't have the ability to do that. So if you quickly entered in your bank information, you didn't double check on your side, you may incur a fee until we get it settled out and working properly. So make sure you are very careful in entering in your bank information. But we hope that this will streamline and give you more visibility on what you're getting paid because the current model under Bill.com that we're familiar with gives you this cryptic nine, maybe nine digit bill reference number. And if you can't decode it, which Dan knows how to decode it and, and can sneak in the back and see what it is. But most people can't decode what that means. We're trying to give more
or who
visibility
it's for.
who it's for.
Yeah.
We're giving more visibility. We have always provided it to Bill.com, but Bill.com doesn't want you to see it. They just don't care. So that data that we've always provided is in our systems. It'll now be visible to you, the partner. So that's the reason for this painful switcherooski on you, but it's all for the good of visibility. We want to empower you with what did I get paid for so that you know, oh, this did work. I'm so glad I shared my landing page or I did this or I took the time to show them how to do residuals because now I'm getting paid. We want to give you more immediate feedback around that. So you see those details. It's our number one most requested feedback feature that we were unable to do at Bill.com no matter how hard we tried. So anyway, hopefully it's everything we hope it is.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about, moving from the gloom and doom of the changes that are happening with Intuit, as to why CBG is partnering with other gold standard,
Gold standard.
gold standard third party vendors, uh, and the reason behind it. And ADP is a fantastic example of that. Um, when Carrie and I were looking at other vendors, we were using them as the litmus test of what other partner programs should be able to do. So that we want to talk a little bit about the advantages of partnering with a CBG with ADP.
Yes. So, and I mentioned this a little bit or alluded to it earlier, is if you went and ran to the vendor floor and signed up yourself, and some of you that went to our Scaling New Heights luncheon did that. And then we check and they look in the background and there's nothing we can do because you signed up. We found out that your payouts are going to be so much less doing that. But we're sending emails and ADP does these emails once a week and I hop in and talk to them and I did a Facebook post to show the comparison. You have the ability to earn much more money recommending ADP than QBO payroll. And now there is no, it's enterprise with bundled in. There's no more standalone payroll at Intuit. It's either the QBO payroll that doesn't back up or it's this ADP or other programs. But we like them for several reasons is they do the sales pitch for you. You can join the call and answer those questions because a lot of clients don't know what they're doing, and be the advocate to help make sure that the client is heard and decipher what they're asking and saying to help get it sold. But we have a really good sales team that they do a great job, and then they help onboard them. That's something that doesn't happen with Intuit. I mean, when you sell something or recommend something in Intuit, it's you that's setting them up. Or you're working with the payroll team at Intuit, and you may or may not get assigned somebody that you feel like knows as much about payroll as you do. So you want to, make sure you are, and you can also help with ADP too. If you're the payroll expert, don't throw your customer in that. They're not going to know what a 941 is, the UCE, and all that stuff. You want to hold your customer's hand, it's billable, and get them moved over to what's comfortable for you if ADP is an option for you. But you will have the ability to make more money while you're having, they're making it easier for you as well, giving you some of your time back. You won't have an annual requirement. That's on us. So trust me, we get to meet quarterly to discuss if we're making our goals. And we just, rely on you guys, our 800 partners, to help us, hit the tier so that we can unlock the best payout for everybody. And I did a Facebook post with a payout comparison if you were to sell the Intuit QuickBooks products versus the ADP, what the difference is. It's pretty significant. I think like the
Yeah,
lowest you'll get paid is $400 or something. I can't remember, but that post is definitely worth
yeah.
taking a look at. And I know a lot of you don't even really care about the money, but you do. So the experience, the customer gets a better discount than they would even if you signed up. Because we've unlocked the larger partnership, we've unlocked some better benefits.
Yeah,
So
I think that annual referral requirements and even Lightspeed is the same. It's the same way in their partner program where they have tiers or they have thresholds, and every so often every
we have to
year
reset.
you have to reset. And so as an individual partner with that, you have to have a large following or a large base to do that each and every year. So if you're just doing one or two per year with ADP's partner program, you would actually make nothing because you're not making those thresholds annually. Uh, Partnered with CBG, you're getting something
Down
on
from the first one.
the first referral, which
Yes.
is fantastic.
Yes. And
The
Corpay
corp
One is it's kind of like a bill.com. And you get right now, what we're trying to do is build it up. So it's not quite to the level of the gold vendor. It's close. Once we
silver.
get 200,
It's a,
uh, once we get the silver, once we get 200 customers on it, whether it's your dashboard as a bookkeeper or it's just a direct referral, we will continue to get little bounties for that. It's better than nothing. If you recommend their MasterCard or whatever, you get a few $100 bounty, which is nice. Once we hit the threshold, guys, we will unlock residuals for payments going out. So the opposite of merchant service for your invoicing, this is your bill pay. So it's a unique opportunity that we have negotiated, Dan and I have negotiated carefully with Corpay one. So we want to make sure you take advantage of that. Get those leads in there. Let's hit the 200 together and then we're good to go on that.
yeah, this definitely has the potential to be like QuickBooks Payments, but for spend management. So imagine, you've got something, you're getting something for a referral for money coming in, but you're also getting something for a referral for money going out, which is
Best of
the
both
coming
worlds.
best of both worlds. So it doesn't matter how they spend money or get money, you're getting something for it, and it's an all-in-one platform for spend management. So definitely check them out. So
So drum roll.
without further ado, let's talk about Lightspeed a little bit. Um, so again, there's annual thresholds when it comes to being a partner with Lightspeed. There's different tiers. I don't, Emily, do you have precious metals as your tiers, or is it what is the tier structure when it comes to being a partner with Lightspeed?
Yeah, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. So right now you guys are at silver at the current moment, but you
So
guys are really close to gold.
we want diamond, but
Exactly. We'll
we
get
got
there,
to
don't
get our
worry.
partners up to
Yeah,
speed so they can help us get
Diamonds Carrie's best friend.
there.
So we'll unpack a little bit more about the Lightspeed program and changes and things like that. But we wanted to talk a little bit about um, you know the other vendors as well. But QuickBooks Point of Sale is over. What can you actually offer when it comes to a point of sale solution? Being partnered with Lightspeed, you don't have to run to you know Clover or Square or those other things because the Lightspeed partnership is an all in one platform, right? So you can do e-commerce, you can do point of sale, and it synchronizes with QuickBooks Online all in one. So you don't have to piece together different applications to make it all work in the QuickBooks ecosystem. They handle things from start to finish. They build onboarding into
Sale.
their sale. Yeah. And Emily, you want to talk a little bit about the changes when it comes to keeping people sticky? I was talking. I think it was either you or Connor. I was talking about the onboarding um, services that you guys offer of getting started and how that keeps how you found that keeps people using the product.
Yeah, so I'll touch on the migration services a little bit more later on, but I'll give you a quick rundown of what has changed. So we've definitely split up our implementation team a little bit more so that we have more senior people dealing with our most senior and most expensive customers. And it's a paid service now too, so we have more money to invest in onboarding and implementation, making sure that we have the appropriate resources and time there as well. We've also added a service called professional services, which does much more tailored and customizable. And it's almost like a managed service provider contract. Since you pay upfront for a really customized onboarding, and they can create training manuals if you have very big customers who have a lot of employees, maybe warehouses, these sorts of things. And then you pay like a service fee going forward instead of using our free support. So you get tier one support. They go to the front of the line, and then you also get quick contact directly with the same people each time for support. So it's been really helpful in improving that.
And this is one of those partnerships where it's a uh, double edged, right? Where you actually earn a residual
On the
payment
software.
on the software as well as Lightspeed payments,
Hmm.
right? So it's very rare that you would find a retail establishment that does not need credit card payments, and having those integrated into their their point of sale system is going to help eliminate mistakes and those types of things. So it just makes sense to do that. And of course, your fees and structures are competitive in the marketplace. And you guys do you guys with Lightspeed payments, do you do price comparisons, or
For
somebody
sure,
says,
yeah.
well, I have, you know this is my volume and I get this rate. They can do that sort of thing when they onboard.
Yeah, for sure, always. It's super common.
What I love about your call out, Dan, is that I was like, I wanted to make sure we got that in. So before, in the good old days of QuickBooks Point of Sale, we would sell QuickBooks Point of Sale. It was a one-time installation software. As soon as we would get through selling the version V whatever, then they would cancel. They'd end date it, and then like the next year we'd have to turn around and sell it again. But we would get a one-time commission, and then it was over. But as long as we sold QuickBooks Payments with it, we were golden. We at least got the mailbox money. So we were excited about that. What I really love about this is that it's the software and the payments. It's a win-win. It's much better experience for the customers Dan called out, but we get a residual for the software and for the payments. And then also if they choose to do e-commerce, it's like the money keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, more of that mailbox money you guys are speaking about.
Yes.
So some best practices when it comes to working with Lightspeed, we mentioned before, being on that demo call, to be familiar, to become familiar with what your customer is going to experience before that. But you can also be the advocate for your client. I've been working with them on a recent one, and really I have a great grasp on their workflows, and being able to incorporate and kind of being that translator to through the whole sales process. And I've gotten some great learnings about that throughout the whole thing. And one thing that coming from the QuickBooks point of sale space, and how inventory management is handled. I was taking that mindset and bringing it into Lightspeed, and it's actually even better with Lightspeed because you could feasibly not need to track your inventory in Lightspeed because of the way it integrates with QuickBooks. So if you did want to have, you know, QuickBooks be your source of truth when it comes to inventory, the comings and goings of that, there is a way to actually set it up so that you're tracking the sales in Lightspeed and the cost of goods sold, but not necessarily tracking the inventory comings and goings because maybe you have another system in place to do that inside of QuickBooks. So it's don't discount it, and that's something that you would learn by being on the demonstration call yourself with your client and being that advocate for your client. Carrie, any thoughts about that?
Now, that's my that was the big call out we got from Ross was it we're missing dollars in a potential sale and a happy customer if we just throw them out there by themselves. So and that's one reason I'm glad that we brought Janet aboard, because if you have a, let's say you have a point of sale customer that you don't want to, you just know there's a lead, but you are too busy to deal with it. You don't care about the residuals and you don't have time to do this. Just throw it to CBG and we'll let Janet run with it. That way, at least you know your customer's getting handled, and she's going to take the time to be on the calls and make sure your customer's being heard. She's very savvy with the QuickBooks point of sale, so she's got the right questions to ask in her head.
All right. So Emily, walk us
Awesome.
through some of your Lightspeed information here to keep people up to date on the Lightspeed partnership.
For sure, yeah. So first off, I'm going to start by doing a quick recap for some of you who have seen this before. A little bit again on the Lightspeed retail solution and how we compare to QuickBooks, just so you guys are familiar with it. I know that's your bread and butter. And then also the migration process to Lightspeed and how it looks when you submit a referral to us. And then also some updates or some product features on what's new in Lightspeed, and then I'll wrap it up.
All
So
right.
next slide. So what is Lightspeed? So for those of you who don't know, Lightspeed is a cloud-based point of sale system for retailers. Our main focus is really inventory management and providing that robust features for retailers, and also e-commerce capabilities, and having that all tied together with our integrated payment processing. So really we do market ourselves as an all-in-one solution for retail management, while also being easy to use and implement as well. You can go next slide. Perfect. Yeah, so some key product features on our retail side. So a big one is integrated payment processing. It's definitely important to flag as well on the residual side. It's definitely how we see our partners making the most money with us. But also on the customer side, it does help reduce technical issues. Having a POS, and we're recommending a POS that has integrated payment processing. One support number to call takes away a lot of headaches. And also it gives the customer more data and reporting options when they get their payments data too, all in one system. We also do have built-in loyalty features. So this helps them improve the customer experience with their own customers and also increase their revenue. And also our in-house e-commerce product that I mentioned, it allows retailers to, sell online and increase their reach by accessing new channels. And we do also, as I mentioned, have a really robust inventory management, and we do multi-location functionality too. And that's something that is definitely set us apart from some of our competitors like Shopify, which is good for some good for some customers. But if you have customers who need things like assembled items or multi-location ordering, I could go on, but these are more things that, a POS that has a better inventory management, lots of your customers are going to need, and Lightspeed's better in that regard.
And I
Also
like
with,
this offline mode that you have here. So like, because things are cloud based, and this is one thing I wish QuickBooks would do with online, is to have an offline mode when you're not in it, where you have the internet. So talk a little bit about that.
yeah, I'm actually going to chat about that a little bit later on, but yeah, just to get you guys excited, we do have an offline mode. Right now it's just for the point of sale aspect, but we're also bringing it into payments too, which is super exciting.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just saw that a couple of days ago with the Windows snafu with all the things.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
mean, even though you may have great internet where your store is located, you never know when other things could have, there could be a solar flare or whatever it is that takes down the internet for a moment.
exactly.
So
So
who is the targeted customer for or the ideal customer for Lightspeed?
yeah, so we work with many different types of retailers, which I should mention, but our product is most popular with these ones that you see here on the right-hand side. So bike stores, sporting goods, jewelry, apparel, electronic, vape stores, pet stores, health and beauty, and home decor stores as
I have
well.
to ask a quick question.
Yeah,
You can do payments with vape?
yes, we can. There's
Okay,
some
QuickBooks
restriction.
payments could not, so that's really good call
Yeah,
out.
there are some restrictions in terms of like selling online, I believe, but we can sell the vapes.
The other one was health and beauty with the like supplements. They wouldn't cover those payments
No,
either.
yeah, no supplements.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If it's certain supplements, we
Yeah.
won't do. But really for anything, even if it's not Lightspeed that's doing it, we do have a really great partner,
Okay.
which is able to provide anything in those industries like health and
Okay.
beauty, also things like cannabis stores. We have a
Yeah.
partner that can do cannabis stores and adult stores and those sorts of things that really are typically not touched by any processed serve. But we have a really good one that helps us out with those.
Did that, if they were to be one of those off ones, would we still get a residual or we just meet the need and just get the sale?
Just meet the need. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Good call out.
yeah. If you
Just
could go.
get the software
Yeah, get the
residual at least.
software residual. So
Yeah. Sorry, Dan, could you just go back a couple of slides?
Whoop, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. So something to touch on here that ties all these retail verticals or types together is that they're all focused on selling actual physical products in brick and mortar stores. So Lightspeed, it's really designed for people who do just that. Inventory management, as I said, is a really big part of our solution. So we want people who are selling tangible goods. We also do have a service feature as well. So think about a jewelry store that sells rings, and they want to sell services, engravings, or bike stores with tune-ups, but they're also selling bikes and helmets. These are great customers for us, but someone who just does services probably better fit for something like Square that's a bit more simple on the inventory management side, and also again should be a physical brick and mortar store that they have. And if it's something that's just e-commerce, probably better fit for someone like Shopify that doesn't have not the ability to do some things like layaways and work orders, these sorts of things. But we do again have a really great e-commerce functionality, but POS is the main part of our business.
one quick shout out about this
Mhm.
Shopify. We do have the ability, if you have a customer that wants to start with a Shopify
Mhm.
e-commerce store, we actually can get a residual on that. And then if you want to add Lightspeed later, those two will work together.
Yeah, that's a great call out because it's something that really we do see a lot coming in from leads, like not just partner leads, regular leads as well that come in to our system. Shopify is definitely a very common solution, and we do have a good integration with them. But lots of retailers, they need something robust, so that's why they come to us.
Yeah.
So coming from QuickBooks Point of Sale, you have a nice feature comparison between what Lightspeed does and what QuickBooks Point of Sale did, past tense. Uh, but that's in your slides here, so I appreciate you including that.
Yeah, so on this slide too, I linked a complete feature comparison. So I'll just keep it high level today, just kind of like the more like heavy hitter big ones that come up that people find is different. So if you go to the next slide, probably the biggest one that people notice is that Lightspeed is a cloud-based solution. So we can do things like make features for offline mode. And we can have your customers be able to access their POS data really from anywhere that they're using it. And it also creates the ability for us to do e-commerce. We do have that built-in e-commerce solution. So it's not two separate companies. It's one company that's created the solution for their POS. So they can track their inline or online and in-store sales and customers and loyalty all under one roof. And we do also allow you to provide multi-store features on all of our plans. So you can really scale up your subscription and your business easily without needing to add too many add-ons as you go. Yeah, and now migrating to Lightspeed's point of sale, I'll keep this one quick. If you go to the next one, just wanted to quickly go over, when you send a lead to Lightspeed, what it looks like. Once you send it over to CBG, CBG will send it over to us. Typically, we have one of our point of sale consultants reach out to the customer directly, get a good idea of what they need in terms of a point of sale. Can we actually do it? And then we'll set up a demonstration with one of our account executives. This is a great time for the partner to come in to the demo and just advocate for the client, see how it's going to work. And you guys are familiar with their workflows, so it's a great time to come in on the demo call. And then from there we have onboarding and account management too. So really, what I wanted to highlight on the slide is, I know everyone's got their own things going on, so Lightspeed can take care of everything on the point of sale side.
Awesome.
Yeah. So in terms of implementation timelines, so if it's just one location, retail store, 2 to 4 weeks, and if it's something like enterprise and they're using our professional services team, around 2 months typically. Typically with like regular customers that we're seeing, I would say anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks is a good line. And I also included some resources here. One is for just general help on getting set up with Lightspeed. It's a good resource hub if you have anyone coming over. So that's included there. And also we do have a news partner who helps bring over historical data from other point of sales. They're called Link. They're really great. I won't speak to it in too much detail. I could be here all day, I'm sure. But there's some more information there, and it's something that's, I think, a good selling feature for customers.
Yeah, that's a big thing, and often a big concern from people coming from QuickBooks point of sale is that, yeah, this is great going into a new software, but if I don't have any history, especially if it's the nature of my business to look at historical customer transactions, that is a great option to be able to add that to to the mix. We've seen them do a demonstration for us, and it's relatively painless process of getting things into Lightspeed using that service, and then you have that sales history so that you can review what customers had purchased in the past.
Yeah, and I think you could also get that data, like if they didn't want to pay for another service, you can get that data in QuickBooks, I think, correct?
Yeah, you can still review it inside of your QuickBooks point of sale. I mean, QuickBooks point of sale still opens. It's just now you have to manage it in
Still
two different places.
alive-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Let's
So
talk about some of the new things.
yeah, some of the new, more exciting stuff of this presentation. So we've added inventory adjustments that you can now do on our scanner app. So for those of you who don't know and maybe haven't downloaded the app, we have a scanner mobile app, which essentially turns a smartphone into a scanner. So you may not even need to buy a scanner if you're coming to Lightspeed, which is great. And so a really great way to use this is you could do inventory adjustments from your mobile phone. If you have customers who are walking around on the floor, maybe they see something that's broken, they can quickly input it on their phone and not wait for it to be done later. So it really keeps inventory up to date and makes those inventory adjustments much more simpler and quicker and easier for everybody.
Updated accurately.
Exactly. Next one I'll touch on is multi-purchase or multi-store purchase ordering. This is something if you have customers that have warehouses or like larger customers too, this is a really cool feature. This is something that I don't think I've seen or that I know of the Square, Clover, or Shopify isn't doing. So how basically it works is now you can create purchase orders for all your customers under one purchase order and then have it sent to a warehouse, and then it's still tracked that it's going to all the separate locations. So it really takes a lot of time away from the customers, so they're not creating a bunch of different purchase orders and then manually moving everything around. So
That was
really big win here.
That was a pain in QuickBooks point of sale when it came to purchase orders for the store that has its ear on here's what I need. They would have to send a purchase order to the headquarters. Someone would have to review it, approve it, and then actually do it. Again, because it's cloud-based, this could really be done from anywhere.
Much easier.
Yeah.
Big time saver.
Totally, much more streamlined. And then the next one I'll touch on is margin-based pricing. This is something we had on our older product that now we brought in to the newer one finally, which is really great. So it allows the retailers to set prices based on like their goal margins. What we've seen from customers is, especially like in this economy where there's lots of inflation that's happened, prices are continually rising and changing. If you have different maybe like warehouse customers and different prices at different channels, it often is very hard for people to keep track and remain profitable. So this makes it much more simpler, less Excel work that they'll have to be doing that's manual, and they can just do it all seamlessly inside of Lightspeed.
That's perfect timing with with the economy. We know you
Totally.
after the fact information does not help you be profitable. So that's great.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so the last one I'll touch on that I think personally is one of the most exciting ones, it's offline mode for payments. So really how it works is your customers are going to be able to accept credit and debit cards on a cloud-based system, even when the Wi-Fi goes down temporarily. So just to be clear, not for customers who don't have any Wi-Fi at all, like if they're in super remote locations, but if the Wi-Fi does go down, they're not going to be losing out on any sales. So I think this is going to be a really big win for people. Lots of people have intermittent service and, things happen, storms, Wi-Fi shutdowns, these things happen, and people do lose money if they're not able to accept cards. So right now, what we do have, since offline payments is in beta, but it's being worked on customers right now. So there is a rollout that's happening. So I do assume that it'll be fully live on all the customers and referrals you guys have in the future very soon. But we do have offline mode for point of sale. We've had that for quite some time, actually. Works in a similar way. You can still make sales and just use your cell screen if the Wi-Fi goes down temporarily. And then when the Wi-Fi turns back on, it just brings all the data back up there. So everything's fine. And you can still make cash sales, layaways, and on-account sales during that time. Yeah,
Nice.
that's some of the new and exciting things that we have on Lightspeed. Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for joining us,
Of course.
Emily, and as always, it's great to see you. So, Carrie, let's wrap things up with our always homework assignments, low hanging fruit.
Yeah, so if you have any customers with desktop enhanced payroll, move them to Enterprise Gold, run the numbers, and you'll be shocked at the big savings your customers will have if you have them in that accountant 50 EIN. That stuff is on its last legs. You could just get your customers to pay for Enterprise Gold and just remote in and help them. Pro and Premier customers, those things are definitely coming to an end, so don't skip over Enterprise. Um, if you have any questions about a customer that's already in Enterprise that you purchased through CBG, you're still getting residuals on or something new, let us know before you make any change. We might have some suggestions on how to do it because the news is rolling in fast. And then most importantly, and why we had this call, because we've circled around back to bringing Emily in with Lightspeed, is if you have any point of sale, any point of sale leads, on your landing page, we have the ability to let us know you're interested in entering in a lead. And then the process from there, Dan, you want to tell how that works since you've done it?
Yeah, since once you when you send that lead over, we'll enter that into the back end system, and then being part of the call or the introduction, or however that gets worked out. But again, being there to be the advocate for your client during that process, and being aware as to what that process looked like, and being it can be part of something that you add to your services if you wanted to, or you at least have that confidence of knowing here's what's going to happen when I send it over to them.
And we skipped right over who Emily is, Dan. She's our partner manager at Lightspeed, and then she connects us to all the people that do the demos and the onboarding, and then we stay in touch with her. She'll let us know where the leads are. And, especially if it's one you guys didn't attend, we can check on, she can look in the notes in that and see where they are. So if you sent over a lead in the past and you're like, gosh, nothing ever happened to it, well, it may have just been something that we needed you on the call for, and we just need to loop you back in, and we'll kind of see where they are. Or maybe they weren't a good fit. You never know. But it's if you have any point of sale customers come across your desk, you do not have to be a point of sale expert like you did with QuickBooks Point of Sale, because you couldn't sell that and be successful because they're going to call you for help. What's nice about Lightspeed is they do all that onboarding, training, and all that for you. It takes that burden off your plate, and you can benefit greatly from it. You've got your customer and a well-known product that's taken off like crazy. Everywhere I go, Emily, I see it and I'm like, oh,
Love
I
to
should
hear
have sent
that.
that lead in. Darn it. So it's everywhere. It's the new, and to me, and this is Carrie's prediction, it's the new Intuit of point of sale. So don't miss out. And make sure your customer at least evaluates this. They may or may not be a perfect fit, but let's not let those customers go across your desk because you're not the expert. We have your back on that. Emily and her team are fantastic, and we want you to, give this a try. Don't let those, don't say, I don't do payroll. I don't do point of sale. We have, different people we can put you in touch with. So you look like a hero to your client. And by referring something over, you get rewarded greatly for it. So don't miss out.
So excellent. So we did run over by a few minutes,
Yeah.
uh,
And we probably
but
lost
we
people on
started
the.
later too. So
I know that was
this is still 90 minutes.
sorry.
Just shifted.
I totally
Um,
lost track of the top of the hour. But
so if you do have questions, this will be repurposed and shared so that you can ask questions in the comments of wherever this is going to be socialized with, as far as the recording is concerned, and we'll answer those questions as needed. And that's the end of the slide presentation.
yes, and we really appreciate you joining us, Emily, to help us educate around Lightspeed and this wonderful product we found along our journey when QuickBooks Point of Sale, the tide went out, and Dana and I had already started talking to you, and then we've had a lot of really good success since then. So we are looking forward to building this partnership and giving our partners, our 850 partners, access to this phenomenal resource. And appreciate your time with
Of
us today.
course. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to, like get some FaceTime with you guys and the partners, and we'll chat soon.
Sounds great.
All
Thank
right.
you so
So
much.
we'll see you next time on the CBG Partner Call Meetup. Have a great
Yes.
day.
Thank you.
Bye,
Everyone have a
guys.
great
See you.
day.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you. Bye.